Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be doing a little bit of a mouse comparison, also one take style. So we just start recording, get our thoughts, and we post it on YouTube. That's how the style is done. So in today's video, we're going to be comparing the Endgame XM1, which you guys can see right here, to my main mouse. It's been my main mouse for, I think, over a year now, the G305. I have a couple mods in this mouse. I switched it out for a AAA battery with the battery mod. I also have a Q-tip inside on one of the mouse buttons, which makes the clicks a little bit better than they are by default. And of course, third-party mouse feet, PTFE feet. It's a little bit hard to see there, but the first thing I want to talk about when comparing these two mice is kind of their similarities. So shape-wise, the thing I really didn't realize between these two mice is width-wise, the point that you're actually gripping, the point where your thumb is actually making contact, is roughly similar. So the way that I grip both of these mice ends up being very similar. It's kind of a relaxed fingertip claw kind of grip, but the biggest difference for me is how the back of the mouse, like the butt of the mouse, fits into my palm. So on the G305, it's a very small butt, so it gives you a lot of room to make micro adjustments. And I've noticed when I play on lower senses and I need to make the small adjustments, it's easier for me to move this mouse within my fingers. Most of the time I'm making big motions, but when I'm making small motions, I can pull this mouse inward more. Where this mouse, one of the features people praise about it is how big the hump is in the back, and it completely fills up your palm, which is nice. I think comfort-wise, I feel like I have a lot more comfort gripping this mouse, but this mouse isn't uncomfortable, and it gives me a lot more flexibility. So in the end of the day, I can't do the same. It's a little bit harder because I feel that hump pushing in, so I can't correct as far downward. The next thing I want to talk about was clicks. So I believe the clicks on these, this is one of the few mice that use these clicks. They're the Kale 4.0 red clicks, and they absolutely, click-wise, they feel very heavy. Heavy, like in the sound. It's really hard to describe because you can watch a million sound clicks. There's people clicking the mice, but I feel like the clicks on this mouse, they have kind of they feel more substantial than the clicks on the G305, where they feel like on the G305, and then the ones on the XM1 feel like doom, 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 like it's really registering your click. So I think one of my biggest takeaways from this is I'm going to end up trying to get the Kale 4.0 red switches and solder them onto this mouse. But what else do we want to talk about? So the wire. So this is a wireless mouse. That's one of my favorite things lately, is having a wireless mouse, because sometimes in a game I play very, very low sense. So I will drag my mouse all the way down to here to make an adjustment. But the biggest problem with this mouse is, essentially, I'll show you guys really quick. I made a temporary bungee using command strips and a zip tie. So it's a very basic bungee, but if I were to pull the mouse, right now this is about the right amount of cable so it can play within this area, but if I did have to correct all the way to here, you can see it stretches and you're actually putting tension on the cable. And unfortunately at this point, then you actually do feel the cable. The other time I feel the cable is if I'm making big motions with a lot of cable out. The whiplash effect of the cable, like you hear it and you feel it. It doesn't feel as clean. And then the other issue I had was when I was trying to make these adjustments, where you can see I'm actually putting full tension on the cable. If I do pull the cable out a little bit more, then all of a sudden I end up in this weird situation where I can accidentally put the mouse, readjust it, and put it on top of the cable again. So I think if you're a low sense player, if you want the option to be able to play low sense, then you're really going to want to look towards a wireless mouse. Where I think if your sense is high enough, Benji Fishy, the pro Fortnite player, just recently switched over to this mouse, and he plays relatively high sense. I think if you're only moving the mouse this much, if it's a small amount of micro adjustments you're making, you're really not going to notice the cable. And on top of that, in the end of the day, this is one of the best cables I've ever used in terms of being a third-party cable. Like, you can tell that this cable really is, it's very loose fitting, but in the end of the day, when you compare it one-to-one to a wireless mouse, you're gonna notice the cable. I also wanted to point out this mouse. So on top of already having a good cable to start off with, it also comes with PTFE feet and large feet. So gliding on this is very smooth and easy, where on the G305 I had to customize a little bit more. But I would say the biggest thing in the end of the day, the reason why the XM1 is not going to become my main mouse, comes down to that back hump, where these two mice, the way I grip them, it ends up being so similar. But unfortunately, because of the bigger hump and having to deal with a cable, I just can't justify putting my G305 away and replacing it with the XM1. So with that being said, it wasn't easy. It was really hard for me to make a decision between these two mice. Usually when I pick up a new mouse, instantly I can say this is going to be my new main, this mouse sucks, I hate it. But with these two mice, I was performing so similarly in aim training and in just about everything. But then I started to notice these small, minute differences where I just feel more comfortable with a smaller mouse. The smaller the shape it is, the more micro adjustments you can make. In general, the better. And on top of that, just having a wireless mouse it's such a blessing. So that's my little quick comparison video. I think in my last video I forgot to point out my hand size. I probably should have said that in the beginning. But my hands are roughly 20 centimeters from here. It's the standard mouse measurement size, but 20 centimeters by 10 centimeters across. So generally a larger hand, but I still have found, even after using mice with bigger back ends, I still prefer a smaller mouse. So thank you guys for tuning in to this little quick YouTube one take review. My phone just went off with a notification. I don't know why people are texting me. It's 2:19 in the morning. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to make more YouTube content, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity to say you guys should check out my last video. Like, I'm not even going to link it because I'm not that good of a YouTuber yet. But if you look at my last video before this, it was a really cool video of me meeting my roommate. So I'm trying to create more YouTube content for you guys to enjoy. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this one video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and have a great rest of your day.